Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'm from the era where they fuck you up, then they take your tennis. Always on my grizzly like I play for Memphis. Mr. Triple Double, I don't do the bitches. Get the pen and pad and knock it down to business. Flip the work, stretch the calisthenics. You just getting started, I'm about to finish. Kicking my feet, then light up the spinach. We get a pack and flip it like a gymnast. Tell me what the fuck you know about the trenches. Everywhere from over east to the village. Run the game through the streets like a scrimmage. Keep it 100, don't need me no gimmick. Flow is wicked, so you know I'ma kill it. You study my shit, so you know what to mimic. But we know the difference from Bentleys and Civics. I'm not finished, always on my pivot. See it coming, anyone can get it. Except for them thoughts and them pigeons. Promoting violence, who with it? Rest in peace to my critics. Moment of silence, crickets. I wear my scars like a badge. Had to work hard for the cash. Go and tell them why you mad. Bitch, I be all in my bag. I wear my scars like a badge. Had to work hard for the cash. Go and tell them why you mad. Bitch, I be all in my bag. I wear my scars like a badge. Had to work hard for the cash. Go and tell them why you mad. Bitch, I be all in my bag. I wear my scars like a badge. Had to work hard for the cash. Go and tell them why you mad. Bitch, I be all in my bag.
Slickest old heads you ever see. I'm connected, you can tether me. Chase it till I'm in that Royce truck with the 7 seats. They say I'm hot, like fucking on leather sheets. I'm 5 alarm blazing, level 3. Had to fight my way out of the devil teeth. Baltimore official, sit me right next to Mellow seat. Fantasize on that lime green Lambo with the yellow seats. Puffing that lime green with the yellow streaks. With a fine piece with the jello cheeks. After 2 shots in the lead, I tell her eat. I hit the lights and turn the switch on. I never sleep. You pussies is hella sweet. Give them 1, but I sell them 3. Get them done, watch the rebel eat. Let the bass ride, let the treble speak. I'm on the bass line, you better let them eat. Duke crush and tell them better bag. Foul play, you gon' catch a flag. Drumming the mad, come through with nothing on top of the jag. Bitch, I be all in my bag. Bitch, I be all in my bag.
I got the drip, watch me drag.
Bitch, I be all in my bag.
I wear my scars like a badge. Had to work hard for the cash. Go and tell them why you mad. Bitch, I be all in my bag. I wear my scars like a badge. Had to work hard for the cash. Go and tell them why you mad. Bitch, I be all in my bag. I wear my scars like a badge. Had to work hard for the cash. Go and tell them why you mad. Bitch, I be all in my bag. Man, they be quick to say they love you. No, damn well they don't.
Stop lying.
They ain't got time for that fake shit, man.
At all.
Keep that shit over there for real.
All the way over there.
Promise. Cause I'ma tell you, straight up.
Always.
This is a homage beat.
Pay homage.
Yeah.
Triple double. Yeah. Yeah. Quick to call you selfish and ungrateful. No matter how much bread you breaking at the table, or if you being faithful, don't you think they won't replace you? Cause even if you stable, that don't mean they won't betray you, bro. Cain killed Abel, they was from the same cradle. All along they say they love you, and they turn around to hate you. They look you in your face, pull your cards, try to shame you. They rather break you down than to ever go and praise you. True story, that ain't love, that's a fable. Pleasure could be painful when attraction turn fatal. Cause love is just an option when you beneficial. When it's nothing in your pockets, look how many with you. They might stick around a while, I promise they gon' dish you. Rather put weight on your shoulders than to go assist you. Dang, they rather throw some jabs than a helping hand. When they say they love you and you know they don't. Your brothers say they love you but you know they don't. Bitches say they love you but you know they don't. When they say they love you but you know they don't. Your brothers say they love you but you know they don't. When they say they love you but you know they don't. Bitches say they love you but you know they don't. When they say they love you but you know they don't. Yeah. All the while I thought that we had something special. I see the devil in your eyes, I don't know what possess you. Always say that I depress you, hey, you feeling stressful. I wrestle with the fact we had all this potential. I suggest you go and find whatever make you happy. You don't wanna see them numbers, go and get the stat sheet. Who leading in assists, they wasn't always flashy. Triple double every game, none of your exes pass me. Always put your feelings first, mine was in the backseat. If you ask me, don't know what got in between us. I just Just hope you go and find somewhere the grass is greener. Had to leave that love shit all up to the dreamers. Only work on TV like Martin and Gina. Gotta leave that love shit all up to the dreamers. Only work on TV like Martin and Gina. When they say they love you and you know they don't. Your brothers say they love you but you know they don't. Bitches say they love you but you know they don't. When they say they love you but you know they don't. Your brothers say they love you but you know they don't. When they say they love you but you know they don't. Bitches say they love you but you know they don't. When they say they love you but you know they don't.
It's John Paul. With you, I'll go toe to toe with you. 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 Fight toe to toe with you. I'll go toe to toe with you. Fight with them up. Fight with them up. Fight. I'll go toe to toe with you. Toe to toe with you. Toe to toe. Fight with them up. Toe to toe with you. I'll go toe to toe with you. I'll knock your teeth out. You know.
I honestly think you ought to sit down calmly, take a stress pill, and think things over.
What is up, fam? What is up? It's been a minute. Good to be back. Alright, so we're gonna get into this. Basically, I haven't had a computer for 2 damn weeks. And man, it fucking sucked. I was on a laptop, tried to do the hangout thing, crashed on me. I actually had, I had Team Skeptic and Dre Midas on the last stream I had, I think it was. And the hangout just dropped out. So I was pretty pissed and I didn't want to keep doing that shit. So I waited and I got a new comp. This thing is fucking insanely good. So I don't anticipate any problems. Just want to make sure my audio, everything's good. I fucking sat around for probably 3 days. Just fucked around, doing a bunch of private streams just to try to make sure everything was good. I am going to go ahead and do the hangouts at them. Got my OBS back, so I ain't worried about that at all. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go into a couple topics that I've been researching and questioning, trying to figure out how the hell that even works. So here we go. Adam, this is what I was talking about a little while ago. I was talking about this Parker Space Probe that they just launched. I think it was about a week ago. They're saying what they're going to do is they want to study how solar, how the sun works and the solar flares and the solar winds, and just figure out what the hell the sun is finally, I guess. Funny part is the facts they give us, and you guys are going to love to hear what this probe is going to be able to, how close it's going to get, and what it's going to be able to withstand based on what it uses as a shield. So here's the fun part. So this Parker Space Probe, for those of you who have no clue what this thing even looks like, here you go. It's, as far as I'm concerned, it's it's a it's a joke. So they sent this thing out, and I think about a month or two, I think it is. This thing will be what they say 4 million miles away, orbiting the sun, right? So just take that in for what it's worth. Get in for what it's worth so far. 4 million miles to the sun. This thing, what you're looking at on the screen right now, is going to be able to withstand what is considered to be about 1 to 3 million kelvins. Okay, so this was the part that confused me, and it didn't sound believable, as retarded as it sounded when I read it. Okay, so Kelvin is the made up temperature they've decided the sun will be. When they quote unquote calculate it, it's about 2,500 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so here's the deal with what I got the second I found that out. What is going to protect this probe, right? Let me explain. A 4.5-inch carbon composite shield. Yeah, 4.5 inches. That thing you see at the very top is going to protect it from all the sun's radiation and effects, right? So I was thinking, what effects do this probe have to deal with? Well, here you go. We know about solar flares, and give me 1 second, people. I'll be right back. Okay, so we know. My bad. Apologize, guys. So we know. Oh, before I start, what's up, Fluffy Toke? How you doing? Um. So we know about these solar flares, but trust me, solar flares are nothing compared to the real deal. So we all know. Well, we've all heard and been told 1,000 times that for some reason, which they have no clue. This probe's actually supposed to figure this out. Um, the surface of the sun is 5,800 Kelvin, yet the corona, which isn't even the surface, it's it's not the atmosphere, just before anyone jumps down my throat. Not even the atmosphere, it's just the area around the sun. That's the 1 to 3 million Kelvin. How its temperature just skyrockets compared to the actual surface and inside the sun, as they say, which I don't know how the hell they could possibly know that. Uh, that's one of the things they think this probe will be able to figure out. Is it's this crazy thing called a solar wind. Now, solar flares are basically, as I can explain it, when the sun burps. Does it happen a lot? Occasionally, but it does happen. They do. Our magnetic field, quote unquote, uh, deflects it. I actually believe this is true. Um, we've seen a lot of a lot of flat earthers that have been coming out with the torus field type models, and it's still a working magnetic field. We now know that a magnet cannot have a monopole, meaning no matter what you do to a magnet, it will always have a north and south. So no matter what shape it, don't let them tell you that a globe is the only way that works, because it's um. But these solar winds are extremely dangerous as far as what they're telling us. Um, and I mean, when we actually have had these effects happen, and we know that when it hits Earth, holy crap. Okay, so what's a solar wind? Okay, so I told you a solar flare is like an occasional burp. Well, a solar wind is like that gassy friend you got that just farts all the time. I mean, all the time. Sun spits out probably, like, they guesstimate uh 10 to 15 times a week. And some, some are big, some are small. But in 1986 was a big one. It was so big that it reached Earth and hit, if I remember correctly, it was somewhere, I think, in Russia. I'm probably wrong because I don't have the place in my notes on me because for some reason I didn't think it was important at the time. But it basically shut all power down to 6 million people. I mean, just affected almost everything. You guys have heard of EMP? Well, this is a CME, so it's a coronal mass injection. It's a real deal. I mean, from what I've been reading on it, it's not something that can be said is fake. I mean, we know it's there. We test these things. Then as flat earthers go and test and see these things happening, which is also why I believe the sun's a lot closer. Because if the sun is that far away, but is it that powerful? I truly cannot believe that a 4.5 inch plate is going to protect that, right? I mean, seriously, let's think about this for a second. 4.5 inches is not very big. Put your hand up in front of your face from the bottom of your palm to the top. That's more. 4.5 inches more. And guys with small hands, ones that play with PlayStation. So it's far fetched. I talked to, how I do. I went and talked to some Globers about it, and my first question to them was, how do they know? And the funny part was is they literally a the invention of an oven mitt as an example, right? Crazy, huh? So the first thing that he asked me was, how hot does an oven get? And, I don't use an oven so often, so I said, 4 or 500. Said, perfect. Said, put your hand in the oven. It doesn't instantly get burned. Oh, okay. Yeah, I get that. Because if you touch the side, then you'll get burned. Okay, I get it. All right, I understand. Said, but with that, the sun, figuring that it's in space, the particles, the radiation, they separate back, like as if our atmosphere dissolves. If you don't believe it. So the temperature isn't the same, kind of like the oven theory. I said, okay, and I get what you're saying, but 2,500 degrees is fucking hot. I mean, it's not something you decide is okay and put your hand in, take your hand out, you'll be fine. My next question was, how do they test that? How do they know that probe can handle that? And obviously, they're smart. Figure it out. Testing theoretical equations. So I asked my next question, and this is the part where and the person I was talking to, I do respect because he does it real. Said, so what you're telling me is there's a chance that this thing probe it near the sun and just obliterate, right? Just disintegrating out of nowhere. I said yes. So what they have decided, what that means is they have spent millions and millions of dollars on I don't even know what the hell it looks like a homemade I don't even know what you want to call it. That thing looks worse than Apollo did. Apollo, at least they said, had shields all around it, which we're going to talk about some of them too. Okay. it literally looks like a fucking broke man's fucking treehouse. That's what it looks like, Adam. It looks like a motherfucker didn't have enough money to buy the plywood for the walls. Said fuck it, let's get some foil. That get the foil. So so basically, this this treehouse, foil treehouse, um, is supposed to be able to withstand this temperature that they have no way of testing. Now, I went to the website and I was reading it, and they explained it as perfect as you can explain Santa Claus is to a 5-year-old. And orbit, sun, and if it senses a temperature increase, ready? The front, that shield, it will maneuver itself in front of whatever is happening and block it. Yes, what it said. Uh, this thing apparently will block, save everything if something happens. Now, like I was saying, my very next question was I don't get it because if one of these solar winds is capable of reaching Earth at your guys' 93 million miles away, explain to me how 89 miles closer a 4.5-inch plate is going to protect that probe compared to this magnetic field that we have that is insanely large. Makes zero sense to me. So I had a lot of, I still to this day have a lot of questions. Facts that I have, I mean, it's just every time I look into something more and more, it seems more far fetched, possible to be realistic to build. So let's ready. I'm gonna teach you guys what this solar wind is capable of. Now remember, a solar wind in 1986 hit Earth, took out 6 million people's power. It does insane damage to all electrical stuff. Like you think an EMP is bad? Fuck an EMP. CME. Those. I mean, you guys get a chance. Some research on it. It's just what a CME capable of doing. But so, like I said, this these solar winds happen on a regular basis. So basically, a solar wind is the plasma in the particles of what the sun tracks. Oh, absolutely, sir. I apologize for turning the mic down a little. Background noise. If that's good, let me know. I apologize, guys. Like I said, whole new setup. So, how's that, guys? Good. But so like I said, the solar winds. It's the plasma and the particles separating into the vac. And you ready for this? It has. Okay, so the velocity of this solar wind. Remember, a solar wind carries a temperature of. Okay, so this is not. Remember, I told you there was Kelvin, right? Kelvin is their theoretical temperature. That is not Fahrenheit. Okay, so all this stuff around the sun is Kelvin. These solar winds actually have a temperature of 1 million to 2.9 million degrees Fahrenheit. And that's not even the part that slaps you. Ready? 500 miles a second velocity, which means from the sun. Am I still low? I thought I turned it up. Go ahead and I gotta my I'm gonna turn that up. All right. Better probably be a little bit loud. How's that, guys? Is that any better at all? All right, okay. Again, I do apologize. I am literally. There we go. I am literally starting over. I got a new computer. Hopefully, everything that buffering, I shouldn't hear anything about buffering. Because this is legit. So I'm happy now. So like I said, from the time the sun ejects these solar winds, these things shoot off at 500 miles a second, right? 500 miles a second. And that on your screen, that treehouse made of foil is supposed to protect itself. Remember, if something happens, it's just going to turn so the front is blocking whatever happens. Crazy. It is crazy when I hear this thing. And this literally is like that's just the facts that I could get off the website that made it much easier. But hey, that's what it is. So oh way I don't mind, I don't care. Yeah, but like I said, these solar so of everything that I was reading about, uh, this solar winds that we rarely even hear about from by science, it is actually a serious deal for us here, let alone the treehouse made of foil. I kind of wanted to segue from this into our wonderful president Trump, who announced that we have a space military. And I was going to talk about this a couple weeks ago before my bride, but global, like even these, like we've been talking about this. Actually heard people in my chat right now who have talked about this like a year ago. Right? You ready? We've always had space military. What he announced we're going to be doing space military, already been doing. Been doing it for what I can read back to 1940s, right? So first one, like it didn't make sense to me because he announces that we have this space military that they're going to make, and I instantly remember Dred's talking about an article that NASA put out, literally saying that that they were hiring someone to be head of like the space lookout, I guess you would call it. While I do that, let me go ahead and get this link out there because I know some of you guys want to get the panel. Completely open panel, guys. If you want to jump on, more than welcome to. Now that I got my OBS back, I can care less if you something stupid. So trolls, where you can snipe the panel, but I ain't going nowhere. So go ahead and I'll go ahead and put the link at happens. I have at least one, two. I mean, I got at least 5 or 6 different like military forces that are used to basically look out for things in space. Now, I know a lot of people were like, "Yeah, we're gonna go fight aliens and shit." No. Remember, uh, if and I don't ever believe this could possibly happen. Russia decided to shoot nuclear weapons at us. They're not going to shoot them across the ocean. It doesn't work that way. They have to get as high as they can, so the trajectory coming down does not change, right? So it's not quite what they put it out to be. So they have to watch out for weapons. They have to look out for. I know some hate this. Here's and other objects. Um, One of the things Trump had announced that they will be doing using satellites as reconnaissance. They've been doing that for fucking years, right? They have plane. He announced that they actually do have a plane that can make it to the outer reaches of our atmosphere, quote, and they use that as a spy plane, pretty much. I'm not sure if you guys remember, but have an SR-71 was more than capable of doing that for us. And that was what, years ago, or no, not even that, about 40 years ago. It was when it came out. So imagine what they have now. So everything so far that I've said was Trump's boom. We got this. We're revolutionizing. Uh, our military is the best. Now we're gonna be the best in space. It's all bullshit. We've been looking out for these for a very long time. What is up? Let me see here. What is up, Adam? How you doing, sir?
Doing good, man. Freaking, had to join, had to freaking talk. And, you really should have more viewership than what you have. I mean, like, do you
It,
not advocate anywhere?
see, that's the thing. I do and I don't. It's not. I don't really try that much because it's what it is I don't want to feel like I'm pimping my show out. You know what I mean?
Uh,
It doesn't feel necessary to me. Um,
you got you got remorse for the hose?
well, here's the other thing. Because you know of me, of course, I have a lot of different views, people. So what would happen is for me to get myself out there networking more with live streams is I have to actually go on live streams and talk about how I feel about these things. And a lot of people don't believe it. Or they have a completely different view on space. Now it's kind of hard to talk about space when you're a flat Earth live stream film. So and then if the people that are here, they're the loyal ones, the ones that want to know what's going on. Heard me before. I don't need 100 people. Or I'd probably get nervous.
Nah, man, you got it. When you get that crowd one day, man, it's gonna be fucking banging. I ain't gonna lie.
I hope so. I mean, I definitely enjoy doing it. It's not a job. It's not a hassle. It's fun. I actually enjoy researching and trying to figure it out, whether realistic or not.
Well, yeah, man. I guess for sake of the show and whatever, talk a little bit about you, and I'll tell you, a little bit about me. A couple questions I have for you is, um, how did you get on to, FE? What really like struck you in your mind as like, oh shit, there's definitely something fucking going on here,
Okay, so
and
yeah, it's
yeah,
crazy
go ahead.
too, because I've actually been a lot of thinking about that from when I first came around. Um, I as a kid, I was a NASA kid. I was one that begged my parents every summer, let me go to a space camp. That would be so damn awesome. Apparently, my parents were like no, I didn't. um, but the back of my mind, wasn't it's not the ball. It's always like how, but as I got older, hey, um, but hey, I started like a lot of other people. I you're tired, look into a lot of things. By the time 9/11 happened, I was already deep into other stuff. 9/11 was um when I got and remember, I found flat Earth like it was just random as a kid. I had no idea this form even existed here. I think I was looking for 9/11 stuff, and I came across Dreads live stream. Um, got on, and luckily, and this is what confuses how bad it's flat Earth right now. Because when I came around, Reds, Titan, Q, I mean, just the whole gamut of that were on respectful discussion. I had an opportunity not only what flat Earth was, but I also started to learn a lot more because I had no clue then. Um, start looking, start realizing, wow, that's guesses. Those aren't actually happening like they were. Turning point. Not sure if you remember last year when Shadow and all that crap. NASA came out with a why the Shadow will act the way it will. Hoping to find out, get back to you basically. And I think it was about 2 days later, D.Marble came, and it wasn't that he explained period for flat Earth, that he was able to explain it, and NASA couldn't. With that, he also explained how it worked on a flat Earth. It made all the sense in the world. I everything I had ever remembered, work, hiking, whole nine. I had never seen a curve. Fuck is that curve? That was pretty much the tipping point. Uh, that and also that's kind of when like him, all the trolls started coming back around for what I noticed, and I didn't want to be associated with them. So instead of hearing them out, I was hearing flat earthers out a lot more, and the stuff they were telling me made more sense. And now that I'm so far into it, stuff that I was learning then, I realize, or learning as a globe, I'm realizing it's all bullshit. That was the big uh about a year or 4 months, and knowing how science in general work each other makes me 100% realize that facts that we're getting from them are 100% biased.
Oh yeah, true that, man. I guess if I'm going to talk for a little bit. By the way, by Tim, do you mean like IPS or just like Tim Osmond
Os,
himself?
I'm talking about Tim Osmond. Uh,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Fuck that
and
guy.
let's pull this uh when that clear the air. So I'm not sure if a lot of you guys know there was a video a while ago about me talking about IPS on a Discord server. Here's the deal: when I got to Flat Earth, it was right when all that drama about the rocket launch happened with him. That's what I got from. That's that's the IPS I know. So sorry if you guys like IPS. I never got into them. I found out the second I got here, all that rocket shit happened. You guys heard the video. I'll play it in a little bit. That's, I am not one person else comes around and be like, oh no, IPS is awesome. Sorry, cup of tea. Like a lot of flat earth fan of him. I'm not. Sorry. But with that said, I apologize. Keep.
No, that's respectable, man. I mean, we all come into Earth at like freaking different angles. Like for me, man, uh, about 2 years ago, I was freaking just so absorbed into the heliocentric model and what was going on in the universe because like I had really no idea of what the fuck they were actually even like talking about, and that's coming from understanding now. But the thing is their theoretical science, took my imagination into so many different levels. Like I was an ancient alien guy. I was a the gray aliens, freaking the Pleiadians, looking at the constellations and stuff. And I even took a shit ton of shrooms and a bunch of acid and totally oh, somebody just joined and totally realized that like wow, I mean, looking back at it now, because when I did those things, it affected my imagination and how I was even looking at the stars. Like when I first even started tripping balls, like I could see the light between the stars, like connecting, and I could see constellations and stuff. And my imagination and the way that I was then, it was taken into like other worlds and other realms, because of of course, because of the shrooms and the acid and shit. But like other than that, like now that I look back at it, understanding all the shit that we have like going on today, um, like when I look back at it, I was like, wow, everything that I totally believed in actually affected my mind and what I thought. And like I thought I was on a good fucking trip, like imagining shit in the fucking universe and flying through shit and, having a good old fucking time. But now that, I've hit fucking literally ground zero and, started really looking around at reality and what is and what isn't true. And I'll tell you what it was for me, man. I was smoking some weed, getting high one night, and then at the bottom right fucking corner of my screen, I saw a freaking flat Earth video, and I said, "Fuck it." I was high enough to watch it, and then like because I'd been a conspiracy theorist in the past from all the aliens.
My bad. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hang on 1 second. What up, Dre? How you doing, sir?
Hey, yo, what's up, man? Yo, that's funny as hell. He said I was high, so I had to watch that shit. That's good shit.
Oh yeah, true that, man. I mean, I don't know how you came in flat Earth, but that's how it happened for me. I got high one night, and then when I watched it, I instantly knew because of how much of a freaking conspiracy theorist I was. I instantly knew my life was a lie. I had a very, I had a very breaking down fucking moment right then after I watched it. It was freaking crazy, but and then after that, that got me into like really fucking learning again because then I look back on it, my life in general. I look back at the 12 years I was in fucking school, and bro, I didn't even really learn fucking shit. Everything that they ever taught me was like literally just a distraction to keep me from learning about how to actually fucking survive in the real world. Like I don't know what you do for a living, Sean, but I was just doing solar panels, even though there's fucking nothing solar about them. They should just call them sun panels.
In fact, yeah, we need to talk about that because we got big things coming up. So go ahead. Good to know that that's what you do.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm off cocaine, I'm off weed, so that way I can fucking get another job. I mean, it fucking happens. It's sad to say that, like I ran out of money and that's the reason why I'm coming clean. But, I think everything happens for a fucking reason.
Sometimes you got to hit rock bottom and climb back up, man.
You're damn right, dude. I broke my phone, my last phone. This was actually a new phone. I got it from my brother. It's like his old phone. But I broke my phone to get away from, dealers like haggling me for a ride, all that shit. And the thing is I spread this fucking flat Earth truth literally wherever I go. Like I had a bunch of fucking dealers, like questioning their fucking reality.
Hey,
because it ain't nothing else to talk about in the fucking car on the ride.
I never thought about it that way.
But yeah, man, I'm a me. I'm gonna hand it over to new guy just walked in.
What's up, Dre? Yeah, well, Adam, appreciate you being honest, man. It like I said, flat Earth is always something different to somebody. You know what I mean? It's never all the same, and if it is, it kind of makes you question their validity of what they're even saying. I think that was one of the main reasons like I said, I became flat Earth. For one, Dre Mattis, how you doing, sir? He is probably of everybody one of the top 3 people that made me realize that one way of thinking does not work. I mean, for instance, the whole no forest on flat Earth crap. I mean, I went from fuck you, impossible, period. And I think we did 3 live streams just building on it and just figuring shit out.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And come to find out, it's not possible, people. But it's kind of possible.
Dre, now that I hear your voice, the way that you just said, yeah, I actually know who you are now. So never mind.
Yeah, you should. I mean, I don't really know you, but I know you, if that makes sense. But I don't know.
Just the way you said, yeah.
Yeah, that's the crazy part, because I don't think me and Alan or Adam have talked a bunch of times, but I know exactly. I know who he is.
I heard Adam.
I think he's tried to get on a couple times, and I fucked up or I didn't send the link right. But he's been around since as long as I have. Shit.
Yeah, man. You really need some mad props. I ain't gonna lie, dude. You should really be up there as much as what as like weaponry and well, not just weaponry, but the science behind most things. You definitely have a good grasp on it, even though I'm not a domer. So
well, that's the thing, I it's not that I know it all and all this. It's that I actually want to learn it. So I'm constantly researching it. I'm constantly listening to podcasts, reading websites, because if there's a, let's talk, we're talking about space. Okay, well, what space? You got to start here, and then you got to, as you're learning something, oh shit, there's this now, and then you start learning that, and then as you go, you just end up this whole web of stuff that's kind of there. By no means am I an expert in any of it, but if you're willing to take the time to research it, you will slowly start understanding it, and then you kind of start seeing where you need to be looking, and then once you get a little half-ass understanding of it, it's easier to it gets easier to research things once you keep going with it and take a lot of notes. One of the big jokes on Dred's panels back in the day were me always taking notes. I literally have at least 15 notebooks full from day one. Still have them.
Yeah, that's my problem. I don't take notes.
What you been up to, Dre?
I'm too disorganized for that shit. If I had notes, I have fucking crates of fucking notes and shit. Half the shit that I talk about or that I knew before I even got into flat Earth. It's just that for me, once I fell into the flat Earth or whatever, a lot of shit made sense, and I could start putting things together and understanding why things were a certain way, other than the obvious shit like things you never think of, like with outer space and shit like that. Or whatever.
The one thing I wish would happen, is, and Alan, I was actually about to say, I wish flat Earth and globe earthers weren't so button heads, because but
that's by design though.
But see, it's not, because so everyone knows Titan kind of went AWOL. You know what I mean? He like fuck everybody, right?
You talking about Jamaican Titan?
Yeah. He's he's just going through his cycle.
But
see, here's the thing. No, exactly. That's my brother. I don't give a. Hang on.
I'm kidding.
So, no, basically what's happening with Jamaican Titan is all the drama that keeps going on over and over and over again. He's sick of it. He doesn't want to be around it, so he's separating himself. Some people just disappear. He kind of just doesn't want to be in the middle. He just wants to say fuck you, everybody who's in it. I respect him no matter what. No matter what he said to me about on his stream, I messaged him back that day. Told him I don't give a fuck. You're my brother. I love you. Thank you. When I got here to around this whole form of flat Earth, I was a glober. I die-hard glober. I argued on that panel every fucking day, but there was a difference. Everyone on that panel gave respect, and I gave them respect. I learned more about flat Earth and all the globe things. Make sure you guys all hear me. Everyone should hear me just fine now. I gotta get my panel back up. Apologize, guys. Believe it or not, I actually basically sniped my fucking self. So I do apologize for that. Let me get this panel up real quick. Damn, I cannot believe that just fucking happened. And I'll explain in a second.
Oh, yeah.
You guys there?
It's almost like we're an episode of CSI, and we've all seen that lame ass show and all the degenerate shows that come from it. But you know what I'm saying? Like the way that we connect the dots and we jump all over the place and we kind of like half-ass expect people to like keep up with us. It's totally made me slow down on the whole process and like realize that like, holy crap, if I'm going to talk about religion, I have to take it like super, super slow. Like a literally like, like you're playing like fucking, I don't know, like jumping jacks or fucking something. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? You got to take it slow. And even with the globe model and, debating people and everything, it's like you actually don't know how much common sense these motherfuckers have. I mean, like they're just indoctrinated and, clashing with their fucking ego and lashing out at you at the same time while debating you. So it's like you got to deal with their ego, and you're also thinking about like what's going on through their head, and you're also thinking about like a really good talking point to bring to them, to bring this fucking abhorrent thought to their head that they can actually connect with you and be on a level ground with, even though they probably don't even like that word level no more.
Yeah, hey guys, I'm not sure if you guys had realized what had just happened. I actually my phone sniped myself. But we're good. We're back on. So I want to let you guys know what just happened.
Well, yeah, man. I mean, Sean, it's your show, so
No.
I guess.
As long as you're good.
No, we're good now. We're good now. I mean, I can still hear you. It's just the stream went down for a second, but we're good now. It's. I think I lost a little bit, but I pretty much heard the rest of it. If see here, how did I say it? The fact that these little groups are still groups and don't realize that they need that that doesn't work. Like who's someone, one of you, I think you were saying it, Dre. It just happens. It's just the way it's always going to be. I don't think it does. I really don't. I have, because remember I was starting to talk about how when I first came around, it was everyone was respectful. It wasn't. I had opportunity to have my point of view out there. You guys had your point of view, but it wasn't fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. You know what I mean? And then now, it's like every flat earther for himself. And the crazy thing to me is it worries me that it is like a full circle thing. And realistically, the reason I call myself a truther now is because it affect everything that I'm trying to tell you guys or I'm researching affects me. It affects you. And guess what? It affects the Globers as well. And the reality of what's going on and all the bullshit that we're being fed, we all need to realize it, not just us. You know what I mean? We're not just the only ones who have to figure that out.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, of course that. Hey, Dre, you can talk, man. I'm trying to sip on this.
No, it's all good. I mean, I'd say it like this: at this point in time, excuse me, just from the lack of general overall progress that I've seen in the flat Earth community or whatever you want to call it since I've been around, and it's been almost 2 years. Actually, it's been almost 2 years, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But the shit is stagnant. It's stagnant than a motherfucker. It's some people doing some good shit or whatever, but as far as the shit that we were a part of, there's nothing going on there. But a bunch of fucking drama. That's all it is. And
Yep.
that's a part of the problem right there. The consciousness is still on that level where we still feel the need, whether it's in house or whether it's against a glober. It don't fucking matter because at the end of the day, these motherfuckers are fucking up globe believers and they're fucking up flat earthers.
But see,
So
that's what I don't get though, because I've been here, like I said, about a year, almost a year and a half now, because it's been a while, and even because of all the flat earthers I've met, I probably have the most different idea of how things work, or you know what I mean, and regardless, I mean, I do butt heads with a lot of people, but I don't really butt heads with people like that. And to me, it just seems odd that any group, globe, flat earth, like they can be doing that kind of crap. It really looks high school, middle school type shit. That's just weird. I mean,
Yeah, I see what you're.
because I mean, like I
see
said, I can tell you right now, there is a group of flat earthers that I don't get along with right now. And there's reasons for this and reasons for that, but I'm not gonna go out. I'm not gonna go out making fucking stupid videos talking shit. If I want to, prove my point, let's have a debate. Let's have a discussion.
Sean, let's not talk shit about the groups, but let's talk about the groups because I'm actually interested to know.
But see, that's the thing. I don't really talk shit. Because if I'm talking shit, then it's going to be a fuck you. But I don't have any fuck yous for anybody. I mean, there's actually a couple, but those people actually know it. Because for me, I have to sleep with, I got to close my eyes at night and look at the back of my eyelids. And, when I'm bored, I have to think and realize what I'm thinking. And the last thing I need to do is be thinking of ill will against other people. That to me is a fucking joke. It just doesn't seem logical. It seems It seems like like seriously, if you think about all the groups that do here and there cause drama with other groups, if they put that same energy into finding out truth, fucking, we'd be good to go.
Yeah, but that's the thing, man. I mean, like you got to look at the reasons why they're in that group. Like I'll go ahead and be honest with you, man. Like I absolutely despise Christian flat earthers, even though that's the most people that I have on my Facebook that I talk to and everything. It's like, you know, they're flat earthing at the same time that I'm flat earthing, and like, but then, you know, in the background of it, it's, you know, Jesus, 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 and it's like, oh fucking fuck.
Yeah,
you
but
know?
check this out though. I don't believe in any creator, but I get along with a lot of those Christian flat earthers. It's not about. Here's what I think it is. I don't feel that for me.
I'm
This
not a
is
Christian flat earther,
this
by
is
the way.
100% me. I don't feel the need to prove you wrong on what you believe, right? But I do. I'm very strong in what I believe, so I will have that conversation. The thing is for me to get my point across to you, even if you have a completely different view, I actually have to have a discussion with you. I have to get through my discussion of why I believe what I do, and that's not possible if if people are yelling at each other or saying your view is fucking full of shit. It's like, if I want you to understand where I'm coming from, I have to get through everything I believe, and that's not going to happen if we don't like each other. You know what I mean? If we can't have that conversation. Then again, you know, there are people that say stuff that I want nothing to do with. There is a group of flat earthers that I've started to come across that literally are now just trolling Glovers. Like and they just make flat earthers seem stupid. This whole pee drinking shit, this whole I just found out about some bleach drinking crap, like all this stuff that I had never heard of, and it's literally ridiculous. And on the other hand, hey Globers, realize that you guys got a lot of fucking idiots too.
Well,
And
hey,
it
Sean,
goes all around.
I think I told you about this before, that urine therapy is actually a thing.
Yeah, see, that was the crazy part. Now, everybody knows about this stupid ass flat Earth cult thing, and I'm not going to get too deep into that because I think
Okay.
hang on, I think that will start up something that I'm not even interested in involving myself in. But at
You
the
talking
same,
about Devin Maggi?
huh?
You talking about Devin Maggi?
I have no idea what that is.
See, that's what I'm saying, Sean. I mean, like, if you don't say what the group is, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, if you would just say what.
Okay, well, if it's, as far as I'm concerned, it's the whole Black conscious community moving into flat Earth, and I've said it before. It's not everything I say isn't a secret. I've talked to each and every one of these people individually. They know how I feel, and it's not a secret. So that's the difference. I'm not gonna go on. I'm not gonna make an upload talking shit about somebody when I can easily find them and say what I have to say. If they want to engage, okay, let's engage, and we'll see. You know, be a man and have a conversation with me.
And that's very manly, man. I gotta tell you.
And I'll keep it real, because Hugh, you know, he's been taking jabs at Dreads. Dreads is my family. That man, if it wasn't for him, if it wasn't for Dre, if it wasn't for Titan, I would not be here right now. Period. I consider them family without a doubt. Now here's the thing. No one has to like anybody that I like. That's not my problem. That doesn't change the fact that they're family to me, right? So Hugh and I, we don't have issues. But because Dreads is my boy, I'm not going to just stand there and let you talk shit. Me and Hugh had a one-on-one conversation. Not live, not recorded, just me and him. I have respect for Hugh, regardless of how he feels about anyone I like. You know what I mean? If anybody,
man.
That's all it takes. All this bickering on the sidelines and making uploads and talking shit here, that's kid shit. I don't care what it is. I don't care if you're a Glober, flat earther, this or that. Man up. No, you don't have
For
to.
real, I think Dre does a lot of good work. Not just you, Dre. I meant to say Dreads. Were you talking about Dreads?
Well, how the things they're not happy about with them.
Oh well,
Yeah,
I
but
mean
yeah,
like
yeah.
like a while back. I mean like I still support Dreads. I'm still subscribed to him and everything. You know, I like to listen in every once in a while, but like, God damn it, when Madon got on the panel, I was just severely drunk one night and just I don't know. Maybe I said a little too much, but fucking Dreads called me out on his show, and I was a little butthurt about it. I ain't gonna fucking lie. I mean, shit, I was, but like, the thing was is like I actually think this. I think that Madon is a paid agent,
Okay,
and
you ready for this? Check this out.
yeah, go ahead, man.
I consider Madon family.
Cool, cool.
No, and here's why. Madon was here when I was here. I, as a Glober, I didn't even agree with him at all. Like I didn't like. I think body bagging him pushed me towards flat Earth a lot more. But at the same time, me and Madon have never gotten, evil with each other. It never got personal, right? So, I mean, hey, if it wasn't for Madon, I mean, you wouldn't hear all that just blah blah weird shit that you never would think people think. I'm sorry. It wasn't until I got here that I'd ever heard anybody refer to God as the Most High. When I heard that, I'm like, I didn't know God smoked weed. What the fuck?
He does. Hey, Dre, take over for a second. Your thoughts about Madon, Dre.
Oh my god, man! I used to.
Hey, bro, it's cool.
I used to air that brother out, and then he started catching feelings, so I left him alone. I used to make memes about him and shit. you know, I mean, he cool. He just, he on that bullshit. He a globe earther. To me, he a professional time waster, and people. I used to say that shit from day one, and I mean, motherfuckers obviously take it serious, but I don't give a fuck. But I used to tell motherfuckers all the time, yo, why y'all let these clowns on the panel and waste time, whatever they did. But people still just constantly have him on, and they know what he's gonna do. And like I said, I mean, I give him the benefit of the doubt. Sometimes, I mean, I ain't gonna front. I agree with Madon occasionally, like out of about 11 million items that he might speak upon, it might be 0.5. But there are times where I actually agree with the brother. But other than that,
well, you got 0.5 over me, man. I got 0 with him.
I mean, like I said before, there's a couple times, and believe it or not, it was the couple times that I actually, or one of the few times that I did agree with the brother was when he was talking some shit or whatever, and he was getting up in the Globe, believe his ass. He was giving them the business. So like I said, other than that, I mean, I think he cool. I just think he a clown. He just likes to come around. He's a character and waste time, and usually, generally, especially like, if I'm on live, I want to build because, particularly now, because I don't, it ain't like 8 months ago. I would be on YouTube constantly building and whatever the case, live stream, whatever, not personally live streaming, but just being on live streams. But then I started seeing all the bullshit going on, and honestly, I ain't want no parts of it. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go finish my basement, and I've been working on my basement ever since.
You probably have a badass basement by now, man. But I mean, if y'all think
but this was the segue. My bad, real quick, not to cut you off, but the segue right into how Madon is tied into it. I believe Sean G asked me something about the basement, and I told him when it's done, it's going to be the Madon, and he was like, "What?" I was like, "It's going to be the shit," because Madonna's the shit. We used to fuck with him all the time. He always because he was always dropping some bullshit.
Oh yeah, like I'll tell you about it. I mean, if y'all two see me and Bro Sanchez's chat, y'all gonna see the opinions I sling at Madon. And I'll tell you a couple things about Madon that I just never really like. Like one, it's like, how can anybody be this fucking dumb? Like that's what I'm saying, man. Like when I thought about it to myself, like I was thinking, there's just no fucking way. There's no fucking way anybody can be this stupid.
I
Like,
honestly think that he's either getting paid or he's just that much of a clown because. And
well, see, that's the thing. It's either paid or a clown. All right. So it's going to be because of y'all. I'm going to keep it 50-50 on that. But you know, I got this partial bias towards him. And number two,
shit, he might be a
when,
paid clown.
hey,
Nah,
hey, no fucking lie, man. I think one of the reasons why like he doesn't give a shit is because he's getting paid. I mean, like, of course, a motherfucker ain't gonna give a shit if he's getting paid. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
but you say that, but I don't believe in a dome. There are flat earthers that do believe in a dome. So
Right.
you know what I mean? And as far as I'm concerned, I mean, 90% of the shit Madon says you want to smack him for saying. But I mean, how many people do you know that like their views change on a dime based on who they were listening to that day? You know what I mean? It's like at least it's hard to come across people that are are passionate about their belief. And that's why I mean, and that's the main reason I do respect people that do believe in God. I mean, so, there are people that it runs their life and they are wonderful people because of that. There are people that take it too damn far. Okay, but hey, there are flat earthers that take it too damn far. There are globers who take it too damn far. You know what I mean? Believe it or not, I'm a mixed African American man. I have neo-Nazi friends. It's not about what you believe, it's
You're
how you
not an
carry
African
yourself.
American. There's no such thing as an African American unless that
Uh,
motherfucker
Okay.
moved to America from Africa.
We can't, y'all. We can't do that one right now. Come on, man. We can't do that one
Come
right
on,
now.
well, I'm just saying, but there's no
Okay.
such thing. I mean,
I mean,
if you came over here from like Uganda or some shit, yeah, then motherfucker, you African American. Other than that, you ain't no African American.
Okay, then.
hey, don't
Well,
say I didn't
the,
try.
well,
Don't say I didn't.
what would you call yourself?
I mean, just for the simple fact that I personally can't say what would be what we would consider politically correct or whatever, but you ain't no African American. What part of Africa you from, or
My
indigenous to, or whatever?
Well, I can tell you that very, very small percentage of my heritage is from there. Most of my heritage is actually from Trinidad.
Hey,
But
Sean, please don't do this. I'll be the third wheel the whole time, man. Come on, man.
We do this every time we chop it up. We do this at some point.
but
All right, well, at least hear me out on this. All right, one, I don't know where all black people come from. Two, I don't know where all white people come
well,
from.
here's
And three,
here's one thing that no matter what you
hold on.
believe, there are black people all over the world.
See, right now,
White all over.
this is what I want you to understand. Just for the simple fact that we know whether it was previously or even currently to some degree that basically melanated or black people are all over the world is because that's just how it is now. For you to call yourself African just because you have
Whoa,
brown
did not
skin,
say didn't say
no, no,
African.
no. I'm just saying, or just to claim any part of Africa, regardless, as far as being a person considered to be an African American, is what I'm getting at. You that's like an Italian man or Irishman calling a German a fucking, I don't know, whatever, like something that had the same complexion. Even though they have the same complexion, they're not the same people. They're not all the same. Just because you
Oh
have
yeah.
brown skin, you're not
Oh yeah.
basically.
Call a Jamaican an African. Oh, watch the fuck out. He will whip your ass.
Yeah, but see, that's kind of pretty much what I'm getting at is
Huh?
just people like people that are just ignorant, and I don't say that with being a smart ass or whatever. That literally for what it is, that don't have the knowledge or whatever. They assume that all brown skinned people are from Africa and whatever else, blah blah blah. That's why you get these crazy motherfuckers now when they get a thorn up their ass, they
That's the
tell
same.
black people to go back to Africa when all black people ain't from Africa.
Here's the thing, though. I can tell you right now. For myself, I my whole life, I'm 37 years old, and I can tell you right now, I haven't even put a little bit of my time into researching that type of stuff or caring about it. As far as I'm concerned, I don't see myself as an quote unquote black man. I'm Sean. I get along with everybody. Like I said, I think once you start doing that, that's when you start separating yourself from humans. You know what I mean? The
Yeah,
people.
well, nah, that's cool, but to see the thing about that term African American, though, that's got a whole different reasoning for being, and that's to separate the people that are indigenous to
Okay.
this land, or to strip them of their
Oh,
Okay,
no,
how
yeah,
property
about
and
I
rights.
agree with that. I think I
So that
100% agree. Unless you are born and raised somewhere, there is a little questionable. Like you want to keep it real. I'm American, and that that's the reality
Well,
of it.
exactly, but
American?
it goes back even further than that, though. And I'm not going to sit here and say I know what the original name of America was, because there I could say a couple different things, and I might not be right with saying it. But what I'm getting at is, odds are, whatever your heritage is, as far as the what you would consider to be the African American portion, that portion of you comes from a people that were indigenous to this land. It wasn't from some motherfucking Africans that were brought here on a boat or some bullshit.
I see. I would think I could say that you don't know that. Now here's the other thing. I don't know about the whole if the whole slavery boat thing was how it really
Well,
happened,
listen,
but the reality of it is that we've always been nomads. Always, forever time. So to say that we couldn't have originated from Africa, that's a little far fetched. That's kind of like that's kind of like like either Holocaust deniers. That's like slave denying. You know what I mean? Like, believe it or not, we could originate from Africa. It doesn't mean we had to get on boats. We could have,
I don't think so, because if that's the case, then how come you have high populations of so-called African Americans in the United States that suffer from like diabetes and high blood pressure? When you compare that to what their genetic pool would be in Africa, it's not even a thing.
oh, you're gonna love this. Evolution, my friend.
No,
Absolutely. I've not said this 100 times before.
and
If
it's
you
no, it's
if they took all GMOs completely out of food right now,
mhm.
we'd all become deadly sick. Period. Our bodies would not know what to do with the bacteria. Population control would drop dramatically. Hey, everything, how you doing? Sorry, guys. Just saw everything in the chat and
how
said hi.
how is that evolution that
Yeah, read the chat too, Sean. You rarely do that.
I don't. I hate that. My bad. Go ahead,
how
Trey.
can how can you consider that to be evolution when over such a short period of time, and I'll say within 300 years basically or so, that people evolve to the point where the masses of the people that moved away from that land, so to speak, or whatever, all of a sudden develop high rates of diabetes and this, that, and the other, when
Right.
it's not something that they're, first of all, genetically predisposed to. And as far as that's concerned, I think that the African, to some degree, from what I understand, on that level, the immune system is basically more superior, and they don't even get that kind of stuff. You can't defeat those type of genetics. Those genetics don't evolve
Wait.
backwards.
That's like
That's
saying
not.
that's like saying if you started smoking, uh, you won't get cancer because cancer isn't a big thing in Africa or wherever your heritage would be.
Well, see, but that's not evolution. That's a
Well, what
product
did
of.
Dr. Sebi say? I
Well,
mean,
hang
Dr.
on.
Sebi said,
See, here's the
okay.
thing that people don't take into account with this. For thousands and thousands of years, they weren't being supplemented with stuff. We weren't adding stuff the same way. Um, our body structure and the way our bodies work right now can be compared to 300 years ago because there weren't the sugars, there weren't the GMOs, there weren't the antibiotics, and
Sean,
that stuff
listen,
is
listen to yourself. That's not evolution.
no. It is and it
Okay,
isn't.
no, it is not evolution. The people that suffer those things is because certain things are introduced into their environment, and then their bodies basically are, for lack of better terms, assaulted, and they develop these things. That's the only way. If that were the case,
Development, not evolution. I'm with Dre. I'm with Dre on that one, man.
it's environmental impact is what it is. It's not evolution, because if it were evolution and it was strictly that these people were brought here and then left there to acclimate and adapt to the environment that they're in, that so-called superior immune system, that the genetics that they brought with them from their ancestors back in Africa, they're still going to apply here.
It would change
No, you genetics don't change like that.
over
This is
time. Okay.
this is
How
why
about
evolution. This is why traditional evolution is such bullshit.
wait.
It's
So
nothing more than adaptation.
wait. So are you saying that your gene, the way your gene, your DNA is structured, is the exact same as your great grandparents?
Absolutely,
No,
absolutely
Sean.
not. And that's a result primarily from uh, chemical attacks, biological, neurological attacks with chemicals and shit like
Okay.
that.
So then are you saying that 500 years ago to 2500 years ago, a family's gene structure was the exact same?
No, Sean. Primarily, it was the exact same because 500 years ago, everybody was keeping it in the family. You know, like
That's
blacks are
wrong.
blacks, white.
And
Yeah,
believe it or not, that's actually how you diverge from it the fastest.
exactly, man. Like for me myself, I'm considered a mutt. Like
Listen,
We
you
all
a
are.
bunch of
listen.
different.
Let me tell you something about genetics. Your genetics are the code. It's the blueprint of how your body puts things together and then functions with proteins. That's not something that evolves and changes in a manner where it's going to show up and manifest over the course of like 200 or 300 years. Um, to the degree that these genetics are supposed to all of a sudden change. Now things can change when they're when genetics are bombarded somehow with like whether it's electromagnetism, chemicals, and things of this nature. These are the types of things that start to alter and what do they call when your DNA starts to mutate. Other than that, DNA doesn't change like that. That whole Darwinism type evolutionary bullshit, it's bullshit.
You do remember what my version of evolution, what it is, right?
I mean,
Okay,
we've talked
Sean,
about it
briefly
before.
explain.
Okay.
Y'all got. I see y'all
Evolution.
guys go head to head a lot.
Oh yeah, it's fun.
Now we
It makes
always
me
do
think.
that.
Okay, so evolution, because like I said, I don't know enough about the scientific aspect of evolution to explain it. That kind of really confuses the shit out of me. My version is we can adapt on a regular basis, correct, guys? We all agree.
Absolutely.
If I right now go to Alaska and it's below zero, I will
Hmm.
adapt by building a fire, a structure, warmer clothes. That's adapting. Okay, well, and now my son, his son, and his son, you know, being in that cold environment, their bodies will change and be different from mine and be more suitable for that environment. That is
Hold up.
evolution.
I gotta talk to
That
you about
is
Sean.
adaptation. That is
No,
not
That's
changing. Listen,
adaptation 1,000 times is evolution because it will change completely.
no,
You're not
no, no,
adapting
no.
over and
Listen,
over again.
this is why I told
no.
you when we talked
That's the
about this before. That is strictly
Okay,
adaptation.
here's
You're
the thing.
adapting to your environment. It's doing nothing to the genetic code. It is
It
doing
does.
nothing
And I can
to the
tell you, I can
genetic
prove it right now.
structure.
You ready? If you go to Alaska right now and it's below zero, you put a jacket on, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're
yeah,
telling
Sean.
me that over generations they won't be less
All right.
susceptible to being cold?
Let me tell you this.
But
No, wait,
because
hold on for a second. Now you can tell me. Let me ask you this. Now this is supposed to be a product of human evolution. Why the hell would we evolve to lose our hair in order to have to put a jacket on in the first place?
That's just
uh,
your body getting old. It doesn't last
No.
forever.
Listen, Sean, you see it now. Some people are still basically covered in hair from head to toe, and people they got like afros growing on their chest and they back and the whole nine.
Then
Nope.
why would we have why would all over the world in different parts have different genetic attributes that are different from other places?
Well,
okay,
now you're getting into a whole new can of worms, and
That's
I don't know if
they're
we want to go there.
I absolutely do because that's uh, that's groups spreading out and evolving to the situation. When you say adapt, you're like saying if I go to Alaska, I put a jacket on, I adapt to it being cold. How do I therefore adapt again and again for that cold? You don't. Your body changes. That is evolution.
So basically, evolution for someone like an Inuit or an Eskimo, whatever you want to call them, after about 1,000 years, and it's safe to say, I think that they've lived for a couple thousand years or whatever the case may be. Don't you think that after 1,000 or 500 years, for that matter, according to evolution, the way you believe it, that they should have had some sort of a change in their genetic code where
Ready
they
for
didn't
this?
need to wear coats?
You ready for this? If
Oh,
they
we're
and they
ready.
did a study, if you go to Mount Everest, Nepal, the people that live there, there are the mountain people and there are people that live in the lowlands. There are families that some live in the mountains and some live, stay down in the valleys, that were
Hmm.
families over generations. Their blood structure is, one is thicker and one is not as thick, and it is due to the cold and their body adapting and evolving to their environment. And that is a
Okay.
100% proven fact that
How,
that has
how
happened.
how old is the family?
Hold up.
Oh, generations. I'll
How?
look it up right now. Go ahead. Keep going. Go ahead.
All right, Sean. Sean. All right. So there's people on top of the mountain and at the base of the mountain, right?
Yes.
Okay. And so they're same family. Like they got some cousins that are up there on the top, and then they got from those cousins on the top, they got cousins on the bottom, and then the cousins on the top, they come down and meet them every once in a while, and okay, the cousins on the bottom start a fire, right? And then the cousins from the top don't stand next to it, and they say, "Bitch, I ain't cold." Do you see what I'm saying? They're just used to it. That's adaptation.
Okay.
The same
Okay.
thing.
And I 100% agree with what you just said. Here's the thing: used to it and not used to it has nothing to do with the thickness of the blood or the thickness of
But you said they're
the
from the
Wait,
same
wait, wait,
family,
wait,
though.
yeah,
hold on,
exactly.
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on.
Ex-
Slow your roll, slow your roll. So listen, you're trying. Are you suggesting that something in their genetic code makes their blood thicker in order to deal
yes.
with the
Yep.
climate change?
100%. The
Ha-
same
Now,
way. The same way. Um,
now, what I would ask you is what happens on a biological level from a protein message from DNA that instructs that blood to thicken?
your you,
Particular,
your diet
particularly.
changes.
Well, no, see, to me that's strange because I would think that in cold weather, if anything, that the blood would thin out to make it more
Oh
easily pumped. See, it's
no,
something that,
because your blood is like the insulate. Your blood is like the viscosity of oil, for instance.
okay, now this is why you have when you live in Canada, they want you to run the 5W30, which is a little bit heavier, I believe, right?
Yes.
Is
Yeah. Yeah.
that why they do that?
It doesn't. I have to forget the word for it, but it doesn't.
Well, it doesn't break down. It doesn't
Yes.
break down as
Yeah.
fast. So you're basically saying that the thickening of the blood is a genetic upgrade to deal with the cold. So it's basically like instead of running 10W in the south, you're running 5W in the north.
It's easier to freeze water than it is to freeze hydraulic fluid or oil. Same thing. The viscosity of it, the
Okay.
thickness,
All
same
right.
thing.
So what I'm getting to now. So knowing that the blood is basically, I mean, I would say probably at least 75, 80% water, maybe 90. I mean, I don't know. I'm just taking a stab
Yeah,
in the
yeah, yeah,
dark.
yeah, yeah. Just go ahead.
Okay.
My thing is like, where do the lines of adaptation and evolution blur? Like what we were just talking about with the cousins at the top and the cousins at the
Okay,
bottom.
you guys ready?
Or
I
what if
have.
both families had a second cousin that lived in ice caves underground, and then like two or three
Their
generations later, they had a family reunion?
the generation with their genetics would change, which is why some people have cousins that look nothing like them. I have cousins that look nothing
But
like
is
me.
that adaptation though? Is
Okay,
it adaptation?
let me
Like if you
explain it
had
again.
your second cousin,
See,
Adaptation is
this
what
is
you do now. Evolution is what your body does. And now look, hang on. So that what I was just saying about the families in the Himalayas, I have the article up right here. Ready? So it says
go
background.
ahead.
The Himalayas were first colonized by modern humans approximately 25,000 years ago, spanning Tibet, Nepal, India, Pakistan, and Bhutan. The region is home to a vast number of ethnic groups residing at altitudes between 3,000 and 5,000 meters above sea level. Nepal is a multi-ethnic country with 125 ethnic groups recorded in 2011, reflecting the diversity. Nepal has a complex geographic history and has long survived as a region of asylum due to the landlocked position between Asia and India. The first documented tribe in Nepal was the Karats, and a Tibetan something group that arrived in the region about 2,500 years ago. Evidence suggests that they first resided in Kathmandu, but were forced to migrate to the high altitude terrain of the Kahumba Valley, eastern Nepal, around the 4th century following the invasion of the Indian clan. The valley of the Tibet-Nepal border presents a challenging physical landscape and harsh environment stresses in residents. Despite this, it remains a well-populated region. Let me get to the better part. Okay, so here goes. Previous studies have applied mitochondrial DNA, basically DNA.
Mitochondrial.
Thank you. Mitochondrial DNA and Y chromosome genetic systems as tools to reconstruct historic demographic events in Nepal. These studies have pointed to significant genetic structures around populations dwelling in Nepal. For example, a South Central European or origins have been attributed to Y chromosome haplotype. You know what? I'm gonna put the link in the chat so you guys can read it later too. Cause damn, I suck at reading.
I'm on a phone.
Okay, I'll send it to your back chat. Okay, so let me just get to the cut and drive it because I'm not reading this whole fucking thing. Where is it?
Is it saying in that article?
Okay, so
yeah, it says it's. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I just want to know: is it saying somewhere in that article that basically they have a comparison of the base genetic structure, and then they show you the difference with the ones that are elevated? But not only that, but this is what I've been trying to get you to understand, that is still adaptation.
It's not.
But listen to me. You got to listen for a second.
Okay.
What evolution suggests is basically that one species can evolve and grow into something that it originally was not, and that does not apply to humans. And you notice, and I've said this from day one: evolution, traditional evolution or Darwinism, does not apply to humans. It may apply to some animals as far as like the way they've changed, over what they would say, a million years or whatever the case may be, if that's even the truth. But that doesn't apply to humans. Absolutely not. To me, that's an adaptation for a human. Darwinism, that evolution shit, that's not what humans do. Humans adapt.
See, you can't say it, man. You can't. I know you guys don't like the idea of it, but we're mammals. Whales are mammals. Guess the fuck what? We're mammals.
You know what? Technically, I mean, if you really want to be technical about it, you're a mammal, you're a fish, you're a fucking banana, you're a tree, you're a fucking goat, you're everything, because everything is made of the same shit.
It's not, and we can prove that. So a goat has the same DNA structure as we do?
Absolutely. The only difference between your DNA and a goat's DNA is the proteins that make the shit that in your body is arranged. You got A, T, C, and G. Those motherfuckers are in a different order. That's it. That's it.
Wait. So you're saying that our DNA is the same, just flipped around?
You are made of the same exact shit as everything on this plane.
Bullshit. How come animals have fur and we have hair? They're not the same.
Everything that has a genetic code is made up of basically their amino acids: A, T, C, and G. I don't give a fuck if you a goat, a whale, a jellyfish, a bumblebee,
of whatever. It doesn't matter. The only difference is if it's talking about hair, and I'm not saying that this is the actual chemical code that creates hair, but hypothetically, if hair is ATCG, then fur might be TGCA. That's the only difference. That shit is in a different order. Those building blocks of life are universal. You cannot get away from the fact that the same shit that makes up you and the banana and the tree and the monkey and the dog and the fish and the alligator is the same shit that makes up you. The only difference is those proteins are arranged in a different order to perform a different function in conjunction with the amino acids they encounter. That's all it is.
Well, let's find out. Hair. This is an article. I'll put it in the chat so everyone else can read it if they like it. I typed in basically what's the difference between hair and fur on a genetic structure. It says hair is an overgrowth of protein found only in mammals. The primary growth of this fiber is keratin or I don't know. Fuck, you guys already understand that.
Keratin.
Yeah,
Keratin.
sorry, asshole.
Well,
No, okay. No, I get what you're saying. Okay, so keratin. Keratins are proteins, i.e., polymer of amino acids. It projects from the epidermis through it grows from hair follicles deep in the dermis. The term fur refers to the body hair of non-human mammals, also known as pelage? Yeah, pelage. Animals without fur may be referred to as hairless or naked. A certain stages of life, hair is absent in the same species. Definition, growth pattern, nature, chemical composition. So,
Sean, can I say something here?
No, I'm just playing. Go ahead.
Oh man, hey, I was gonna respect that. I was gonna respect that no too.
No,
All right, how about this? All right, 30 seconds from each of us because all three of us are all smart enough to talk about it. And starting with, and then after that, we need to move on to like something else because you need to get back to the originality of the show, what you first talked about, because you always do that, Sean.
I do.
You, man, I do. You always over what you're actually trying to talk about, and you do kind of dive off in other areas, and it's cool to swim around and stuff. But I want to get you back to your own show, man. All right, so in 30 seconds. All right.
What is the topic?
I think it's but the thing is that what we've been, what y'all have been for this whole time. All right, so 30 seconds. Here I go. I think it's adaptation. All right, so if you got your cousins at the top of the mountain, they got cousins at the base of the mountain, and it's all related in ice caves up under it, right? So like over 3 generations, the ones that are in the ice caves, of course, they would, I think, adapt to the ice cave environment. Way, way colder, way darker. Their skin would change color and everything. And then time for a family reunion later to come up. Okay, so the ones at the top of the mountain are going to say it ain't cold, and then the ones at the base of the mountain are going to be standing next to the fire, and then the ones that lived in the ice caves, they're going to be like, "What the fuck is fire?"
Yeah, but what you're saying, but what you're saying is stuff that is it's right there. Those are adaptations. The issue is when you get into the genetic part of that, and the ones that live in that ice cave, their blood is thicker than the ones that live on a beach. That is the evolutionary aspect of it.
That's just their body.
But did they not adapt to their...
Let me you're 100% right. That is their body adapting to the situation, which turns into an evolutionary step.
Now, if these people come down out of the mountains or whatever, does their blood stay thick?
Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't change overnight. Just the same way if they go up the mountain, it doesn't become thick overnight.
Okay, now you're going to tell me that's even if it's not overnight, even if it took, you're telling me that it's going to take two generations for those people's blood to like thin out to regular.
Pretty much, yeah.
Now, I mean, honestly, I can see that happening. Now, to me, that's adaptation.
Here's the thing. I think we believe
that's,
this. We think it works the exact same way. The difference is that I'm not going to use 1,000, 200,000, or 1,000,000 adaptations to explain something when I can just call it evolution.
Well, see, the thing about the evolution, though, the traditional, like I said, traditional evolution, it's literally a process of trial and error. And when you get into things as intricate as that are intricately designed, like human bodies and animal bodies, and the way that they function in the whole nine, it is. I don't care if you talk about 11 million years. There's no way in the world that these things can go through trial and error processes to find out what works best and then start from wherever it left off, like, oh, it took 300 or
They-
400 years to figure out that, oh, you know what, by the way, I'm growing this horn out of my forehead and it's not working, so we need to like start all over and do something
well,
else.
they better, because if you're saying, for instance, fire, those people died. The ones that didn't figure that out died. The ones that didn't do, adapt in the situation, they weren't given the chance to evolve, to survive over generations.
Talking theoretically here, Sean. I mean, like
You're
you see
right.
what I'm saying?
I wasn't there. You guys weren't there, but hey, it's a good build.
I'm just curious to know, like, what's the bridge between where we came from. I get, like, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know, where you think we
Honestly,
came from. Where do you think we came from?
honestly, for
Or what
all
we
we
evolved
know,
from?
and that's the great thing, because like even scientists and
This
archaeologists
is
and all that stuff, it's not like they're getting skin grafts from these fucking fossils or bones they're finding. For all we know, we were fucking green, and we all started from a fucking 100-foot pit in
no.
the ground somewhere. You don't know that because you weren't there.
But
I
it's the
what
same
I'm
thing
gonna
like
tell
we
you
we just talked about.
the
We
the
could have
the,
started out green and then ended up all sorts of different colors. But
But that's
is
the thing.
that
That's the
adaptation
wonderful
or
part
evolution? And I
about
think the
what we.
lines are
That's the wonderful thing about a belief. We take what we've learned, we take what we understand, we take what we can explain, and we believe in how it worked. Because reality is, none of us were there. And what me and Dre are talking about, as far as I'm concerned, is the same fucking thing. It's just I don't want to say adaptation a million times.
well, this is what I think about that whole thing ultimately, and I'll just leave it at that. I think that I think that they're blowing smoke up your ass that we evolved from any fucking thing, and more than likely, and this is something I guess that I would attach that label to when I say I believe. I definitely tend to believe, or do believe for that matter, that if anything evolving evolution, we devolved from the Most High. That's about it.
Absolutely not. You don't
Yeah.
become less strong and survive.
Well, see, that's because you don't believe in a creator and you don't understand the purpose of physical existence in the first place, as it applies to that creator. So that's why you feel that way, and I respect that, because you won't look at it the same way I do. The way that I look at it, it makes perfect sense, and
Hmm? And that's why I have to respect it.
right. That's why I said I can only respect what you say, because you don't believe in a creator like I do, and that's not something that I would try to that's, and I've never done that, and you know that.
Yeah, in the chat, AGM. So when it comes down to the whole dinosaur thing, and Dre's heard this 1,000 times, I there were animals. I know it is a fact. I don't call them dinosaurs because I know how flat earthers hate it. They're called ancient animals as far as I'm concerned. Here's the big thing: T Rex, those 600-foot long brontosaurus, like those things. That's bullshit. And it's very clear when people look into it that the two guys that found the first dinosaurs were fucking gambleholics, and they always gambled with each other. And that was just like space fucking or going to the moon. It was a fucking jerk off competition. Who can do it first? So when it comes down to
all
the
right.
dinosaur thing, if there were ancient animals, period. Yes, there were. A lot of the dinosaurs you see on Jurassic Park, fuck it, fake as fuck.
We know that's fake as fuck. All right. So where I differ, I guess, from both of you is that to me, the age of belief is over. Like, I think we're in a not a time, because time is an illusion, it's a man-made construct. But the thing is that I think we either do know or don't know. And I'll put it to you like this. It's a simple thing. Would you rather believe that your girlfriend isn't cheating on you, or would you rather know that your girlfriend isn't cheating on you?
Oh, I know.
Well, I will
I,
add to
I know you
this.
know. I was showing you the power of belief versus knowing.
I'm just gonna add to
You
this
see what
real
I'm saying?
quick. At the end of the day, to keep it 100 on some real shit, don't nobody know nothing, because
Oh yeah, yeah.
everything that we think we know, we all get this shit from our controllers
Mhm.
ultimately.
And who do you
You
think
know,
they got? And who do you think they got
but
it
at the
from?
but at the same time though, this is kind of like how it is though. There are some things that they just can't do, and one of those things, as far as I'm concerned, is they can't completely just do shit to you. It's like there's this disclosure or some sort of shit that they must follow, as far as like whether it's a karmic law or whatever the case may be. But anyway, they disclose all the shit that they do.
And,
They disclose all the shit that they're gonna do. It's
this 100% leads back to what I was saying about this whole groups and fight and drama shit. This is right where we just got talking about what GM's talking about in the chat right now. This is why all that drama, all that effort put to the drama is bullshit. If you everybody, every single group put the same effort into giving this knowledge of what they believe to everyone else, and everyone else was willing to hear it and respect it, imagine what we would actually fucking know. I mean, it'd be beyond. So I guarantee we'd be so
yeah, but
superior to where we
it's
are right now. It'd be
at this
insane.
time, yeah, you're right, but it's not even about knowing anymore. And it's like the information is out there. Yeah, at some point in time, it may be refined and more accurate, but there's a lot of shit out there right now that just ain't legit or
Well,
whatever.
I can tell you right now, the fastest way to an actual truth is 20 truths put together and weeded out.
Well, see, this is what I'm getting at. I don't. There's definitely a lot of truth out there, no doubt, undoubtedly. But at the same time, these people that so-called run the show, they're so far ahead of us as far as technology and information and the release of information and that type of shit.
Absolutely.
They
Exactly,
are
Dre.
they
Exactly.
already know, they basically know how we're going to respond to certain things, this, that, and the other. I mean, they might not have it 100% accurate, but for the most part, they got a beat on it. They might be worried and
Uh-huh.
things ain't going the way that they wanted to go and whatever else. Yeah, that may be the case, but at the end of the day, this is what it is. People need to get off the bullshit. It don't matter what bullshit it is. The consciousness needs to elevate, and the consciousness
Exactly.
level, with not only whether it's flat earthers or globe earthers, whatever the case may be, just the consciousness level with humanity is so fucking low. It's a damn shame. And it's not something that a segment of the population is going to be able to do. It's not something that a group of flat earthers or a group of globe
Exactly.
earthers or this clique is going to be able to do. It's something that has to be developed and honed on a massive scale.
Exactly.
That means large groups, if not every single person on every single landmass, needs to be on the same fucking page, working on the
Exactly.
same
Fuck yeah.
frequency. And until that shit happens, all of this shit that we do and talk about is for fucking nothing.
Entertainment. It's just we're just stimulating our minds realistically, and that's what I hate the most about. And I have to label Globers because they're the ones who constantly do it. They, the idea, why are they lying to us, motherfucker? Why do you think me? Why would I know exactly? Like, they're not stupid people. Like, they've gotten away with what they've gotten away with because they're not stupid. How the fuck would I know what's going on? If I knew exactly what was going on and why they lie, I would not be sitting here today. And like you said,
Yeah, Sean. Can I expound on that?
absolutely.
All right, it's like this. Like we always get that question from globalists, and all three of us are playing. And the thing is that when they ask why what's the point of control and stuff like that. I mean, we're not their mama birds. We're not gonna like chew up the food and spit it in their mouth. I mean, like we can give them a couple reasons why. The like why they would lie about the shape of the world. But the thing is like it's like you guys got to understand, it's so freaking self-evident that I mean, we can give you a couple things here and there, but it's just like, goddamn, fucking wake up, dude. It's fucking control to the max. I mean, look around you. There's a church on every freaking street corner. There's a mosque like freaking everywhere. You think they're gonna give up this shit that freaking easily? No. So it's like we've got a shit ton of work ahead of us. All right. And like kind of what I'm about and what I wanted to talk to you guys about is that like should we actually start forming like our own government, even though we're literally, if you look at us all, we're all like different tribes. Like you got your Christian flat earthers, you got your Muslim flat earthers, even though that's like, you know, very rare, but I've seen them. And then you got like guys like us that are just open minded to everything. So literally to us, like all three of us, we would be from those rogue tribes that would travel back and forth to each other, you know, like, you know, trading and stuff like that, and talking about things the same way that we were just talking about adaptation and evolution. But should we actually start our own form of government within ourselves? Because isn't that what the elite fear? And this is all just my thoughts. Like, isn't that what they actually fear, is for people to wake up and start, you know, designing a system for themselves and then going against them to undo the whole machine that they have in the beginning?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
What they fear most at this point in time is your lack of participation in the system.
If you look straight forward, yep. If you look straight forward and you go to work, you come home, everything's good.
Yo, real quick, I'm gonna switch over to my phone because I'm gonna go out into the garage. So if you see another me pop up,
it's cool. Actually, so everyone knows, and we got about 15 minutes because I got some stuff to take care of before I take off and go to bed. But we're gonna start winding down a little bit. I got some important things to take care of. I ain't gonna lie. I gotta smoke some weed. I gotta eat something. I gotta go to bed because I gotta wake up at 4 in the morning.
I feel you. I feel you. Man.
But no, but I don't want to. Matter of fact, don't. Damn it. I hate to end it on the fact that you're changing right now, but I'm going to. I feel I like to end on these good aspects where we're still everything's up and I'm gonna be live streaming every day, motherfuckers. So. This is gonna keep going. Adam, you're more than welcome on the panel, man. Any fucking time you want. Dre, this is home, man. I don't even want to ever ask you again. I'm just gonna send you the Hangout link, and you do whatever the fuck you want with it.
Well, I'll say, you know me. Right now, I'm just chilling. But if I can get on, I'll get on. But you know, I'm still in purgatory, bro.
Yeah. Well, like I said, like I was saying before, we need to do more of the fucking back chat shit where, you know, just bullshitting without the live stream, because you're trying to get your point across and you know all that stuff when we're live, and you know when you don't have to do that so much, you don't have to jump subjects, or you don't have to get that point out right away. So we need to do that a little bit more too. But like I said, man, I got my new computer. Happy. I'm going to be live again, so we're good to go.
Congratulations, you're a proud father.
Yay! and for everyone who is listening, I don't give a fuck if you got beef with this person. I don't care if you got beef with that person. I don't care if you believe anything I say. We all really, realistically, we got to hear each other out, because that's the only way truth will even have a chance of getting through. And I'm 37 years old. I ain't got time for that drama shit anymore.
Man, I'm too old for you. Talk about 30, man. Get the fuck out.
Oh, I feel old.
I'm old. I mean, I ain't old, but I'm old. Shit.
Well, that's the thing. It's like
I'm not insulting anybody. I'm 26.
Shut up, young buck.
God damn. That's why I'll be fucking with y'all.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go ahead and end it on that one, because I'm actually pretty fucking hungry. I haven't eaten. But like I said, I'm gonna go on a lot more. Anybody in the chat, whether you guys are this or that, everybody is welcome on this panel. I want to hear different views than I have, because then I get to research and weed through what's going on. So remember that, people in the chat, you're always welcome. It doesn't always have to be me and Dre, because I'm pretty sure Dre gets kind of sick of being wrong every time. But I have nothing but respect for you guys, and and like I said, I want to hear it. I want to hear the different views. So I do appreciate it. Dre, my brother, I'll talk to you pretty soon. Adam, man, fam too, because you've been around forever. Come on my panel some more now. Now that we got that figured out, we know you can get on here. There's no excuse.
And just so
Okay.
you know, Stone is the bridge between Silica.
Motherfucker just lit a joint. I don't know what he just said. That's what I got out of what you said.
Y'all get to burn down. I don't get to do shit. I gotta get in a fucking job and figure out a place to live.
Hey, well,
You ain't missing out, man.
Yeah.
Trust me, dog.
We're just high. Don't worry about it.
Nah,
I will be a little jealous.
That's a whole nother show, look, talking about the weed and shit like that. You ain't missing shit, bros. Keep yourself clean, man.
Yeah, real shit.
That's
Realistically,
the best thing you can do.
Yeah, realistically, time passes the same, and the high that happened yesterday ain't today. So what does it matter anyway?
Right.
Like real shit. But with that, otherwise I'm gonna keep drawing on. I'm get the fuck out of here, guys. Thank you. People in the chat,
All right, man.
you know the whole spiel. I love you guys. I fucking immensely fucking appreciate you guys being here. Just even being in the chat and just hearing what I have to say, throwing in your 2 cents, it means the world to me. Like I said, man, we're all trying to figure this shit out. On the other note, Adam, I do apologize. Tomorrow, I promise you guys will hear everything I know about these the military space forces that have been here since the 40s. I promise. All right, people. With that said, love you guys.
Thank you.
Peace the fuck out.
Peace.
All right, man. Peace.